Good morning, my lovely people. So, I came across this article on Facebook this morning regarding the police shooting that occurred in Dallas. Now, I haven't really seen too much media coverage on television, or at least on local news in California, about this story. I'm not sure why. We see plenty of stories, like we see news coverage about goddamn dogs being saved out of rivers and shit in Louisiana or whatever, but we don't see any media coverage about this. As you guys may be familiar or may not be familiar, there has been a lot of changing stories on the cop's end as far as her position that she has taken in this incident. It's still unclear what she actually did, how she actually got into the apartment. And although those questions are still unanswered, they're now trying to redirect the focus away from what she did and now to what Botham John, the victim, was doing in his spare time. Now, there has been some people who felt the need to actually clarify his occupation before he died. He was not just some type of, nothing ass dude living in his apartment, minding his business, not really contributing much to society. He was actually somebody who was a contributor to society heavily. And for them to now present this around the world that he was a weed smoker and they found evidence of that in his apartment, yet you guys still have not surfaced any evidence that you found in her apartment or in her phone or in her laptop, is completely outrageous. Now, initially, again, Amber Guygen, who was the officer responsible for the shooting, did claim that the door to Botham's apartment was open, which is how she got in, and she suspected that he was an intruder because she thought it was her apartment, which is why she opened fire. Then other stories surfaced saying that the neighbors overheard her actually telling him to let her in, which would imply that the door was closed. Now, we still haven't gotten a straight story about how she gained access into the apartment. There has been videos that have been released on YouTube or just on different media sites that prove that at this specific apartment building, if you do not have the proper key, which is magnetic, works similarly to a hotel key, you are not getting in there. It's not a regular metal key. It's almost similar, if you're not familiar with hotels, to maybe like a newer vehicle. If you don't have the right remote to open the car, it's not opening. You can't just ease your way in there at all. You have to have the right key. So the lawyers of Botham Jean's family have become pretty upset that they're, directing the focus not only on the fact that it was marijuana recovered in the apartment, but also that they released this story on the same day as his funeral. I couldn't agree more. It was very, very maniacal. They knew what they were doing. And it's quite funny that all of a sudden that they're trying to focus on that. So clearly the search warrant that was ordered did not include her apartment. Now, for whatever reason, they recovered 2 fire cartridge casings, which was from her, laptop computer, a black backpack with police equipment and paperwork, an insulated lunchbox, black ballistic vest with police markings, some weed, the weed grinder, 2 RFID keys, and 2 used packages of medical aid. Now, it's a couple of things that crossed my mind. One, if there's 2 house keys in the house, that means she did not have access to the house. If you've seen any of the videos that were demonstrating how the doors work at this apartment building, again, they automatically sling closed after you open them, and they automatically lock also. So again, if you walk out of your house and you don't have anything in between the door to keep it from fully closing, it's going to fully close and you will be fully locked out. And here, it also says the document does not say where any of the items were located in the apartment or who they belong to. Also weird. I haven't seen any articles that says that Botham John was a cop, so I wouldn't understand why he would have police paraphernalia in his house. And again, it is ridiculous that they are trying to redirect the focus on this when she was the one who killed a man who was not doing anything wrong. Yet, they're still trying to make him seem like he was doing something wrong. So now they're trying to order toxicology reports on both of them to try to see if that's a better reason to excuse why she shot him. Although she can't even figure out an appropriate story to come up with, to lie with, in order to keep her safety secured. If she's already lived at this apartment, she knows how the apartment doors work. So it baffles me that she lied and didn't expect anybody to be like, oh wait, that's actually not true. This is actually how the doors work. It's very stupid that you did that, or didn't even think to cover up her tracks, at least with the door properly. So I just want to give you guys an opinion on the story. How long do you think that they may likely keep her? What do you think is going to come out of this as far as the evidence that they're collecting and how they are collecting it? Because again, I've yet to hear anything about them collecting evidence from her home, which is literally 1 floor up. It's not like it's 50 miles away or something and they gotta ask or issue completely separate warrants or whatever. It's not that serious. They could have just requested the shit from her, from the landlord. To me, it's just very interesting that they're having all this focus on his apartment and really not much on hers. And I also find it weird too that there has not really been any videos that surface now. Again, I get it's an apartment building, but still, some people are very nervous and anxious a lot. So they have things like Ring doorbells or home security systems outside of their apartments. And I noticed that there really has not been anybody who mentioned that they've had this or found anything about this. No hallway cameras or anything. And to me, that's really weird. So, you guys give your opinion on this. And I will be back. Bye.